All right, so I'm really excited to make a video at FrostByte about practice points, volunteer points, and Steamboat points. I think these are really important and they're like the core of our team. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about Steamboat points because really they are the thing that drives everything. And what the Steamboat points are, you can look at this, I'm zooming in on this right here so you can see it. Steamboat points are their team rankings based on a formula that takes into account all of the following things: total volunteer points, total attendance points, citizenship points, GPA, and RMC points. So let me explain a couple of those. So volunteer points, hopefully you understand what they are. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. Volunteer points are how we fund this team. How do we actually make money to do this? Sometimes these points are directly incredibly useful for actually fundraising, and sometimes they are very useful for community involvement, which then is amazingly useful for fundraising. So that's kind of the point of that. Attendance points are how much do you come to practice? When do you show up? How does that happen? Citizenship points are things that you do that are above and beyond. Things that we don't ask you to do, that we don't expect you to do, and you do something that's really cool and helping beyond, that is helping one of your teammates, helping one of your coaches, helping anyone in the community. If we just see you doing something that's really special on a ski trip, during practice, whenever, we will give you attendance points, citizenship points. The next one on the list is the GPA. UW Nordic is extremely excited and puts a lot of importance upon your grade point average and how well you do in school. We love that sexy mind and that sexy body. So that's really important. Okay, and the final one is RMC points, which is basically the speed element. RMC points are Rocky Mountain Conference points, and these basically are the points that we attain during the year, during your racing, and the lower they are, the better. And all of these 5 things go into the Steamboat points. Now, what you ask yourself, what do we do with the Steamboat points? Well, there's a couple of things that we do with the Steamboat points. Number one, we determine who gets to go to camps. If we have too many people for the betting, then we will knock people off based on the Steamboat points. The second thing we do is you get to choose where you're betting at races. So if you're high on the list, or I guess I should say low on the list, ranked in the top few, then you'll always get to choose your bet. And if not, sometimes you get stuck sleeping on the fold-out couch. So it's kind of helpful to get these things. Okay, now going on to the volunteer points, right? So we say, okay, well, we volunteer points. How does that work? So volunteer points, you have to do fundraising for this team. That's how we work. We get $10,000 match from the club sports. Really generous of them. That's wonderful. But we spend on a low year $30,000 on wax, travel, equipment, all kinds of stuff. Lodging is a huge one of our biggest ones. Entry fees, that kind of stuff. So everyone has to do it. Approximately 3 hours of work equal 1 point. That's about how it works. Sometimes we give you a little more, sometimes we give you a little, but we never give you less. Sometimes we give you a little more depending on how much money we're raising. You have to have a minimum number of points for your chosen team. That's important, so we'll talk about that in just a moment. And then if you sign up for a volunteer activity and you don't come and don't let anybody know, then you will lose that point for that fundraiser because that is, we get into trouble with that. Sometimes we have to show up. If you're going to say you show up, you got to show up. All right, and then the other thing that's important to know is that when you have extra points, so you say you need 11 points to be on the competitive team and you're stoked and you work really hard and you have 20 points. Whoa, that's a lot of points extra. So you have 9 points extra. Well, every extra point is worth $15 that can be used to buy equipment or things that are directly ski related. So if you come and negotiate with us, and we'll talk about what will work for you. You can't use the extra points, and the money can't be given away. It can't carry on to over to the next year. It has to be reserved for use by the time we head to regionals because we need to know how much money we have for nationals. And any unused points will automatically be donated to the team, which is also very cool. Lots of people do this. We've had our highest grossing points people almost always donate to the team, which is really cool. And you can't use it until you've actually earned it. So you can't use points until you've gone past your minimum. All right, and then finally, we're going a little bit backwards up here, practice points. Now, this shouldn't be that complicated, but basically, if you show up for practice, you get points, but then all practices are not considered equal. We incentivize practices by the most important practices by giving you the most points, and that's kind of how that works. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we don't have practice often on Monday, but if we do, it's worth 1 point. Strength workout, a strength and core workout together is worth ½ point. A yoga workout is worth ½ point. Sunday practices are worth 2 points, or Saturday, weekend practices, I should say, are worth 2 points because they're really important to us. So we really want you to come to those with the most important practices of the week. So that's what we do it. Then the practice percentage equals your actual practice points by how many possible practice points there are. And then you're going to find them on this website right here, bit.ly/Steamboat rankings. There you go. And if you're missing practice for school injury or illness, be sure to contact us and let us know. Because first of all, you can get missed practice points. I've got an ant on me. You can get missed practice points. You can talk to us about that. And you also get excuses if you're injured or hurt. All right. Now, finally, we're going to scroll down here and go to do our participation options. So here's how this works. The elite team. If you want to be on the elite team, you have to talk to us. Nobody gets on the elite team by just saying, hey, I want to be on the elite team. There's stuff that goes with it. But if you're on the elite team, 85% of the practices you need to be at. You have to have 16 volunteer points. Your club dues are $80. And you have to do the trash treasures, cowboy chase, and the art auction. Those are important. These are the things you get to do when you do that. Elite races, overnight and local races. Competitive team, 70% of practices. You'll need 11 volunteer points. $80 again. And then also trash treasures, cowboy chase, and art auction. These are all things that are important. You get to go to the overnight and local. The only thing you don't get to do is the elite team races. Recreational team, you need 40% of practices, you need 6 volunteer points, and you need $60 in club dues. That's for TNT, cowboy chase, and you have to participate in TNT, cowboy chase, and the art auction. You can do all the local races, and but you can't qualify for USCSA Nationals from that team. You can go to camps if your points allow. And then finally, non-racing team, we just want you to come and participate with us. That's 4 points. There's $60 club due. You say, well, what is the point of doing this if you don't get to race? But you still get all the coaching, and you still get all the training, and you still get all of the camaraderie, so that's a cool thing. All right. So that is pretty much it for this particular... Okay, that's all there is for this particular FrostByte. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.